It is something that will happen to every woman, but talking about menopause can be difficult. Well, now an American icon is putting the conversation in the national spotlight. Dr. Dana Bittner here with more about this. Of course, we've been chatting about this topic for quite some time now, but menopause is really having a moment.
It's really having a moment. So for Oprah to do a special and include Halle Berry, Naomi Watts, Maria Shriver was certainly awesome. And they all touched on different aspects of the symptoms of menopause.
Yeah. Why do you think it's been taboo or not talked about for so long? Because as I said, every woman will have to go through it.
Right. I think Halle Berry made a really good point. She said, I said to my mom, why didn't you talk to me? And she says, well, my mom didn't talk to me.
Yeah.
And I think it was thought of as, you know, not okay to talk about, just suffer in silence. I had a patient the other day who is retired now, but said that men would make fun of women for having, again, not to bash men, but men would make fun of women, like, why are you here working? You're having a hot flash. Like, so it was seen as something to be ashamed about.
Yeah, we talked about how menopause can cause some women to leave the workforce or have an effect on their relationships or their marriage. What are some of the symptoms of menopause for people that might be watching that might be unaware? It seems like there are so many that you might not even realize.
There's so many symptoms, and they can happen in some women as early as 35, but their hot flashes and night sweats are really common. Weight gain, you know, where you're doing all the things and you can't lose weight. A change in libido, joint pain. Oprah suffered heart palpitations, mood disturbance. One woman in the audience on the special talked about that she probably wouldn't be divorced if she had known because of just her mood swings and outrage. I had a patient who got kicked out of D&W locally because she went postal in the checkout lane. So I'm like, so please don't do that. So
sorry, blame the menopause.
Exactly. So, and it's real.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and obviously the treatment, there is treatment available. You don't have to suffer in silence. And it seems like it's different for every woman, case by case basis.
See, that's the thing is menopause isn't a diagnosis that there's a set treatment. Like high blood pressure, you get a couple options, right?
Right.
And menopause is something that's different for everyone depending on their symptom, their medical history, their personal makeup. And it's a combination of lifestyle and of medication. The two go hand in hand. You know, Oprah said it well, you can't yoga your way out of menopause.
Right,
It's going to happen. And 80 to 90% of women suffer symptoms that affect their life. 10% of women leave the workforce in menopause.
Well, you guys do a great job at True of looking at every individual case and kind of tailoring the treatment to that person. But how does this apply to Jane? Let's hear her story.
So Jane came, she was 47, her periods were starting to get irregular, and she had a lot of mood symptoms, irritability, low motivation, was really afraid she would almost have an outburst at work. Like she was just, didn't tolerate much, and she knew that her fuse was short. She had a history of postpartum depression, so very high risk for mood disturbance. It was affecting her relationship. She was yelling at her kids for stupid things. Like she's like, I don't even like myself. And we talked about how hormones affect brain chemicals, and so we were able to come up with a treatment plan. She also had low libido, so we talked about testosterone, which can be very safe for women. Not the pellets, not the creams, but there's a gel that's FDA approved. So again, it's to see a provider who knows what they're doing and is certified in menopause care. So again, for Jane, it was a combination of prioritize your sleep, stretch, drink your water, and then here are some medication options. And she chose a medication that really works well called Bijuva. I always think by George, Bijuva. So Bijuva is estrogen and progesterone, and she chose the testosterone and was feeling a lot better and felt in charge again.
Yeah, there's help out there. So takeaway tip for us.
Takeaway tip is know what's going on and don't suffer in silence. And men too, like this is for all of us to know that it's happening, and also menopause will happen for you. So
we need to do a segment on menopause.
Let's do a segment on andropause or menopause. Let's do it.
Okay, and of course watch Oprah's special if you haven't already. Dr. Bittner, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it.